Welcome back, guys. Well, I guess you're probably wondering when we're going to do that $1,000 track. Well, I don't think we need to be that silly. Jess's car's only worth about $2,000, so there's a far better way we can do that, and that's on a side-by-side or a quad. So check this out.
Well, Jamie's been having a blast getting around the tracks on his quad bike, and every time I've gone to ask him for a ride, he's gone, "Nah, too much power for you, Borgie." But this time, we've got some buggies of our own, 1,000 Can-Ams. And I'll tell you what, we're going to have a blast.
It turns out they didn't have enough. Well, they didn't bring enough, I should say. So I had to take my quad.
It almost sounds like Jamie thinks this was planned. Tarkine Quad and Side-by-Side Adventures services Tassie's northwest Tarkine wilderness. You can choose to hire one of their vehicles, or you can even bring your own.
I've been in a fair few ATVs before, mustering, off in the bush, having a lot of fun. So when I found out that we were going ATV riding, I was pretty excited.
Quite amazing actually when you jump in these buggies. We're driving down these tracks and you just feel this power on tap, and every time you go a little bit too hard, I can feel the back wheel starting to slip out. And as I'm heading around some of these bends, it's definitely one of those things where you're like, hold on, don't let loose, hold on to it.
These side-by-sides, or UTVs, have skyrocketed in popularity over the last few years. They're a crossover between the ATV or quad bike and a full-size vehicle, and their large payload capacity makes them really useful on farms, or in this case, hauling people.
You certainly couldn't replace a four-wheel drive with an ATV. There's not that comfort that you have, you don't have the storage, but combined with it, you can really see some amazing parts of country.
We're heading down the Coldstream track, otherwise known as the $1,000 track. We're not planning on doing the whole track though, that would be a little bit foolish in these, but we're going to see what they can do in the early parts of the track.
Alrighty, bring the river. And we got a big boss to get up here.
So we've just put these buggies into the water, and next minute my feet are starting to get a little bit damp. They're that close to the water. It's quite exhilarating. You hit the ramp, you fly up in the air a little bit, and you're home and hosed.
So we've just come across rapids on quads and side-by-sides, and that was pretty epic, pretty cool stuff, because you could feel the pressure as you're going across, and it was a lot of fun at the same time. And then we heard that this is the part in Tassie, what they call the $1,000 track. Well, now that it's grown, it's a $10,000 track, it's $100,000. You damage your four-wheel drive when you go down it anyway.
But since we're going through here with locals in ATVs, it's a little bit of a different story.
Anyway, we've got to come up, round, and then shoot up this little part, and that's where we're going to have lunch, in this U-Butte camp kitchen stay-over hut.
Huts like this can be an absolute godsend to hikers or four-wheel drivers, and probably to anybody who finds themselves out in these parts.
I found a really funny entry in here from some Jeep Cherokees. 4 Jeep Cherokees, 1 patrol. Patrol made it 15 minutes, then headed back. Cherokee F-up list. 1 swamped engine, 1 F transmission, 2 F alternators, 2 F radiators, 1 F brakes, 1 lost 4x4, 1 tore out steering box, 3 smashed back windows, 4 smashed headlights. Now we leave with our tails between our legs, but our spirits unbroken.
Well, after hearing that, I don't know that we should be going any further, but the guides reckon we'll be fine. So, here goes.
hardest part about these buggies is you're actually sitting on the left-hand side, and I find myself hitting the embankments and things like that where I shouldn't be, especially when I'm trying to get out of this river crossing. I've hit the embankment, sent me flying over to the other side.
Watching Borgie go up that hill at full tilt, I thought he was going to roll. I was a little bit dubious about how I would handle it, but if in doubt, power out.
That's how it tends to be in Tassie, another track and another waterfall. This place is just so spectacular. We're pretty lucky to call this country home.